What if the identity you built to survive is now the reason you can't advance? The story you tell about yourself, most people never question it. They wear it like proof. Look how far I've come. Look what I came from. Look what I had to fight through just to get here. But here's what nobody tells you. The version of you that was built to survive a hard beginning, that version has a ceiling. And the higher you climb, the lower that ceiling gets. You feel it. Maybe you've felt it for a while. You're in the right rooms now. You have the skills. The experience is there. But something keeps pulling you back. Something invisible. Something internal. It's not fear of failure. Because the thing holding you back isn't what you lack. It's what you became. Picture someone who earned everything the hard way. No connections. No safety net. Maybe just a quiet, constant feeling that they had to work twice as hard to be taken half as seriously. And they did. They worked. They pushed. They proved people wrong one by one. It worked. They got the job, the promotion, the seat at the table they were never supposed to have. But something strange started happening. When the room stopped doubting them, they felt lost. When a manager actually supported them, they didn't trust it. When an opportunity came without a fight, they hesitated, looked for the catch, talked themselves out of it. They started creating friction where there was none, reading silence as rejection, reading kindness as manipulation, staying guarded in rooms that were actually safe. They thought they were being smart, staying sharp, staying hungry. They weren't. They were running a program built for a war that was already over. And they had no idea how to stop. Here's what's actually happening inside that pattern. The underdog identity isn't just a story. It's a psychological structure. It needs an opponent. When you build yourself around struggle, when fighting becomes the core of who you are, your brain starts to depend on resistance to feel real, to feel like you no resistance. The brain manufactures it. It scans every room for a threat. It reframes support as pity. It interprets an open door as a trap, because without an enemy, the identity collapses. And here's where it gets darker. When success gets close, real success, the kind that would actually change your life, something in you pulls back, finds a reason it won't work, picks a fight with the wrong person at the wrong moment, goes quiet when speaking up would have changed everything. It feels like instinct. Like protection. It's neither. It's your identity defending itself. Because if you fully arrive, if you stop being the underdog, who are you? So it keeps you in the fight, even when the fight is with yourself. Have you ever felt relieved when something didn't work out, even when you wanted it? That relief has a name, and it isn't wisdom. Here's the twist nobody wants to hear. The underdog identity didn't make you resilient. It made you dependent. Dependent on being underestimated. Dependent on having something to prove. Dependent on the gap between where you started and where you are, because that gap is the only place the story makes sense. Close the gap, and the story dies. So you never fully close it. You stay just successful enough to keep fighting. Just visible enough to still feel overlooked. You collect evidence that the world is still against you, because without that evidence, you don't know who you are. That's not strength. That's a survival mechanism that outlived its purpose. And here's the hard truth. The system didn't keep you out. You did, somewhere along the way. The struggle stopped being something that happened to you and became something you needed. You stopped fighting the ceiling. You became it. So what do you do with that? Every time you feel that pull to retreat, to doubt, to manufacture a reason it won't work, ask one question. Is this a real threat, or just an unfamiliar feeling I haven't learned to tolerate yet? Because most of what you call danger is just discomfort wearing a familiar face. And most of what you call protection is just your old identity refusing to let you outgrow it. Because the ceiling was never above you. It was the story you kept telling yourself about how high someone like you was allowed to go, and you've been the one holding the pen.